Hi guys, this is Heather with Rodeo Connection and RC Designs, and today I want to do a quick Photoshop tutorial with you, and the primary focus is on the use of actions in Photoshop, but I also kind of want to show you how we can take a phone quality photo and turn it into something a little nicer. As you can see, this image here, I've already run some actions on it in Photoshop, and this is just a picture that came off of my iPhone. It is now a 8 by 10 300 DPI print quality type of a picture, so Granny could print this and hang it in her house if she wanted to. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to go to my layers panel and I'm just going to delete these layers that I've used. And here's the original image. To be perfectly honest with you, actions are not something that I used to use at all, but the more websites that I have done, it's something that's become such a good tool because I can take those iPhone photos that everybody has and enhance them. So they're not so flat. We can do a lot of things to kind of boost them and really add to the design of what we're doing. So if I open the layers panel, it's on the side here on the right hand side, or you can go to Window and down to Layers, or F7 on your keyboard. Open up your layers panel and your image will be the background. Now to start applying the actions, we need to open our actions panel. So there's a play button at the top here, or you can go again, Window, Actions, and that will open up. I've got two pre-made action sets that I downloaded off the internet to use for the purpose of this tutorial. Within each of those sets, there are several actions. Now, what is an action? An action is essentially a recording. So if I had decided, as I would often do, to just go ahead and edit this image and make it, just really precise, essentially tinker with it, I might go through and do a whole bunch of things and to create my end product. But if I have an action recording as I'm doing that, I can save that later, that group of steps, and then I can just go back and use that action on different photos. It's literally a matter of hitting the play button and it'll run through that series of steps that you did to edit another photo in a similar way. I hope that makes sense. So again, I'm going to go to my layers panel here. I'm going to select my background. And one of the main things that I find with phone quality photos is they still do lack that sharpness and that crispness that you get from a good camera. So in this one specific action set, there are a couple different actions we can use. There's a define and sharpen action. There's also a slight sharpen. I'm going to just use the define and sharpen. Click on it and literally press the play button. And as you can see, I'll just go back to my layers panel here. That action has taken effect. I'm going to toggle it off and you can see the difference in the image. Okay, so another thing is the edges. I'd like the focus to be a little bit more on Kaylor and DJ and Rocky, of course. And so I'm going to go back to my background image and I'm going to do an edge burn. So this action is called Quick Edge Burn. I select it. I make sure my background layer is the one selected down here. Press play. Nothing happened, right? Well, basic Photoshop 101, a little tip within a tutorial, is your layers panel works literally as it sits. So anything that's on top, that is what's going to show up, and you get the drift. So I can take and drag this quick edge burn. I need to drag it up over top of my define and sharpen, and now it works. So if I take that off again, you can see how that's further helped the photo. And the one other step that I did in that original picture I showed you was I used this action that's called 70s. If you really want to get technical and open it up, you can kind of go through and it's going to literally, in a little more of a scientific manner give you what happened to create this action. We don't need to worry about that. We just worry about selecting our background layer, selecting the 70s action, and pressing play. Again, down here we need to drag this. You can play with this now. You can drag your 70s layer in the middle. You can drag your 70s layer directly on top. It's going to give you two different sort of effects. Okay, I like the 70s layer on top myself. I'm going to further adjust it just slightly. You can do things like mess with the opacity of it. Let's put it at 70%. And there we have it. If I toggled off that for you, you can see what that has done there. So there you have it. That's a quick little tutorial on the use of actions. Again, something we do a lot of when we're dealing specifically with web design. And I hope you found some information out of this for all you weekend warriors who like to play in Photoshop. If you need anything in terms of graphic design, web design, publication design, please keep Rodeo Connection in mind. You can contact Sylvia and myself at rodeoconnection.com. Click on the RC Design tab and see some of our portfolio. Have a great day.